Hey guys, it's Ellen Whitney here in the Foundation 513 kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really quick and easy guacamole that will be perfect for any of you who are still looking for the perfect appetizer or dish to bring to your holiday parties. So we're going to start here with 6 ripe avocados. And if you're like me, whenever I buy avocados, it seems that I'm waiting for them to ripen and then all of a sudden they all go ripe at once. So making guacamole is a great way to use up those avocados and put them to good use so they're not rotting in your refrigerator. So to use the avocados, all you do is cut it in half, bring out the pit, and then you want to use a spoon to scoop out the fruit. And we'll just toss it in the bowl right there. And if your avocados are ripening in the fridge and they have a few brown spots, it's okay if you put that into the guacamole because a little brown won't hurt once everything's mixed up together. And then if there are any really dark spots, you can go ahead and just cut those out. Okay guys, now that we have all the avocado in the bowl, we're just going to add about 1 to 1.5 cups of red onion. And I processed these in a food processor earlier. It's important that you chop them really fine so that when you're scooping it, you don't get a big chunk of raw red onion. So the red onion will add a lot of flavor, but it is also very strong, which is why it's so important to chop it pretty fine. And then next, we'll move on to some Serrano chilies. So you don't have to use Serrano chilies, actually any kind of pepper that you like. I know I've used jalapenos before, but this just adds a little bit of a kick to it. So you'll want 8 to 12 of these, just depending on how spicy you want it. And to use these, you just cut off the head, and then you want to slice them in half. And you'll want to pull out the seeds from the middle. And then you can finely chop these into whatever size chunks you want. Again, I processed these earlier in a food processor just to make sure that they were really small and fine so that no one gets a big chunk of pepper in their guacamole and sets their mouth on fire. All right guys, after the onion and the peppers, we're going to add some citrus. So you can either use lemon or limes here. I just use lemon because that's what I have on hand, but you need 1/4 cup of juice. So a good way to juice the citrus is to just cut it in half. And then you can squeeze it in there. I have this tool that helps me get more juice out of the fruit. So you just squeeze it on top here, and then the juice runs down the side and catches it. It's really nice this way because if any seeds come out of the fruit, then you can just dig them out there ahead of time. So depending on the size of your fruit, you probably need 2 or 3 lemons here. It looks like these I'll probably get enough just from 2, but just for your shopping list, 2 or 3. And then we'll just transfer the juice to the rest of the ingredients. Then our 5th ingredient is going to be fresh cilantro. So for me, I'm someone who too much cilantro in a dish can really turn me off the flavor. Cilantro has a really unique flavor to it, but it is critical to guacamole, and using fresh really gives the guacamole that fresh flavor and that fresh taste. So you're going to probably use 1 to 2. I've seen some recipes that even use 3 cups of cilantro. I'd leave that up to your own judgment. Just add a little bit at a time and then flavor it how you'd like. So this is the cilantro you could also do in the food processor if you'd like. It honestly is up to you as far as how big a chunk that you want. If you're someone who doesn't really like cilantro that much, I'd recommend putting it in the food processor so that it's chopped extra fine. All right, once the cilantro is to the size that you like, just go ahead and transfer that into the bowl. And everything here is really rough measurements. I'll put out the written recipe below this video, but again, just adjust everything to taste because everyone's different, so make it how you want it. Our final ingredient today is just going to be some sea salt. And it's important that you use sea salt as opposed to regular table salt. Sea salt is actually a little bit healthier for you. It has some minerals in there that you're not going to get from the processed table salt. And it also adds so much more flavor, which is why I actually choose the pink Himalayan sea salt. It just has a really, really nice flavor. So again, this is to your taste, but I usually add about 1 to 2 teaspoons. All right guys, once you have all the ingredients in the bowl, all you have to do is mix it up. So I'm going to use a handheld potato masher here, but you can also use just a sturdy fork, or if you like your guacamole smooth, go ahead and blend it in the food processor. I always like mine a little bit chunkier, so that's why I use this masher. And once the guacamole is to the texture that you like, go ahead and taste it and Make sure that the seasonings are just how you want it, whether you need to add some salt, maybe a little bit of black pepper. And I just wanted to add that sometimes I do add some fresh tomatoes to this. You know, in the summer when I grow them in my backyard, just toss in a few fresh tomatoes. That can be another way to mix up the flavor. I'm just going to spoon this into the ceramic chip and dip that my mom actually made me for Christmas last year. And the good thing about guacamole is you can serve it with sliced vegetables, like I have the red peppers here, chips, crackers. At the end, I'm just gonna add some pomegranate seeds on here to make it a festive Christmas dish. I actually had guacamole with pomegranate seeds on it when I went to New York this fall, and the pomegranate seeds really add a sweet crunch to the mix. So it's a great addition, especially for this time of year. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today in the Foundation 513 kitchen. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed the recipe. For the specific ingredients and measurements for this recipe, they will be posted up on the blog at foundation513.com and also on Facebook. You can find us just searching Foundation 513. Stay tuned for more recipes coming. Have a safe and happy holiday.